What if Bridgerton Season 5 is secretly preparing a love story that absolutely nobody saw coming? For months, fans have been trying to guess who will fall in love next. But what if the real answer is hiding somewhere completely unexpected? One relationship could begin with nothing more than a simple conversation, a moment of trust, or even a connection that everyone else has ignored. And once that door opens, the entire world of the ton could change. Because this time, the biggest romance may not be the one fans are waiting for. It could be the match that makes everyone stop and ask, how did we not see this coming? Bridgerton has always been about love, but it has never been as simple as two people meeting and falling for each other. Every romance comes with secrets, family pressure, old wounds, and the rules of society standing in the way. That is exactly why Season 5 could become so interesting. Instead of giving fans the obvious pairing, the story could take a completely different direction and bring two characters together who seem like the last people who would ever become a couple. At first, their connection might not even look romantic. They could simply share a few quiet moments while dealing with their own problems. One character could be searching for a way to escape family expectations, while the other is trying to understand what they truly want from life. Neither person may be looking for love, but sometimes, in the world of Bridgerton, love arrives when people are least prepared for it. That is what makes this possible Season 5 match so exciting. The relationship would not need to begin with a grand ball or an instant attraction. It could start with something much smaller, a private conversation, a secret shared between two people, a moment when one character finally sees the other for who they really are, instead of judging them by their family name or social position. And imagine what would happen if the ton noticed, the moment people begin to suspect, that these two characters are becoming closer. The gossip would spread quickly. Families could become worried. Friends could question their choices. Someone from the past could return and make everything even more complicated. Suddenly, what started as a simple friendship could become the most talked about relationship in London. The biggest clue may be that Bridgerton loves turning unexpected connections into important ones. Characters who once seemed unimportant can suddenly become central to the story. A person standing quietly in the background can become the one who changes everything. That leaves us with one huge question. Who is Season 5 really setting up for love? And if this unexpected match is already being built in the background, could fans have completely missed the signs? Asterisk, the most surprising love stories in Bridgerton do not always begin with a kiss. Sometimes they begin with a look that lasts a little too long, a conversation that feels different, or two people suddenly realizing they understand each other better than anyone else. That is why the biggest clue about Season 5 may not be a dramatic romance at all. It could be hiding inside the smaller moments that fans normally overlook. Think about how these stories usually develop. A character starts spending more time with someone they never expected to trust. They begin sharing thoughts they would never reveal to their closest friends. Then, almost without warning, that person becomes the one they search for in a crowded room. If Season 5 follows this pattern, the unexpected match could already be taking shape before either character realizes what is happening. There's another reason this theory feels so interesting. Bridgerton often places characters together because they have something missing in their own lives. One may bring confidence when the other feels lost. One may understand family pressure because they have lived through it themselves. And one may offer the kind of honesty that is almost impossible to find in the ton. What looks like an unlikely pairing from the outside can suddenly make perfect sense when you look at what these two people need. But there could be a problem. And unexpected romance would not stay secret for long. The ton watches everything. One private meeting could become a rumor by the next morning. A single dance could turn into a scandal. And if powerful families discover that these two characters are becoming serious, they may try to stop the relationship before it has a chance to grow. That is where the drama could become much bigger than romance. Imagine one character finally deciding to follow their heart, only to discover that someone else has already made plans for their future. Imagine another person entering the picture with a perfect reputation and a powerful family behind them. Suddenly, the unexpected couple would have to choose between doing what society expects and risking everything for a love that nobody believed was possible. And there may be an even bigger clue hidden inside that choice. If Season 5 wants to surprise viewers, the story may deliberately make this relationship look impossible at first. The characters could argue. They could misunderstand each other. They could even insist that there is nothing romantic between them. But the more they deny it, the more obvious their connection could become. Because sometimes the person you never planned to love becomes the person you cannot imagine losing. And if that is where Bridgerton Season 5 is heading, then the real question is not whether this match will surprise fans. The real question is what happens when the entire town discovers it, asterisk the moment this unexpected connection becomes impossible to hide. Everything could change. What started as a quiet bond could suddenly become the one relationship everyone is talking about. In Bridgerton, falling in love is one thing. Admitting it in front of the entire town is something completely different. And if Season 5 gives us a match nobody expected, the biggest battle may not be between the two lovers. It may be between their hearts and the world around them. At first, they could try to keep their feelings under control. They might convince themselves that the connection is only friendship. They could avoid being seen together and choose their words carefully whenever someone asks questions. But the more they try to hide what is happening, the harder it could become to pretend nothing has changed. Then comes the first real test. A family member could discover their secret. Instead of seeing the relationship as a beautiful chance at love, they may see it as a threat to the family's name. In the ton, marriage is rarely just about two people. It can be about money, status, family power, and keeping old promises alive. A love match that does not fit those plans could create serious trouble. And that is where the emotional side of the story could become much stronger. One character may be ready to fight for the relationship, while the other becomes afraid of what they could lose: their family, their future, their place in society. Even their closest friendships could be placed under pressure. For the first time, love would not feel like an escape. It would feel like a dangerous choice. But there could also be someone waiting for the perfect moment to interfere. A former love interest, a jealous friend, or a family member with a hidden plan could step forward. They would not need to destroy the relationship openly. One carefully chosen rumor could be enough. One false story repeated at the right dinner could turn trust into doubt. Suddenly, the person who seemed like a perfect match could begin wondering whether they were ever truly loved. That would give Season 5 a powerful emotional conflict. The couple would have to decide whether their feelings are strong enough to survive the pressure around them. And perhaps the most important moment would come when one of them finally stops caring about what everyone else thinks. Instead of choosing the safe path, they could make a bold decision in front of the entire town: a public confession, a shocking proposal, or even a refusal to accept a marriage arranged for them. That moment could change everything, because the real surprise of Season 5 may not simply be who falls in love. It may be watching someone finally choose love over the life everyone else planned for them. And once that choice is made, there may be no way back. Asterisk, just when it seems like this unexpected romance has finally reached its biggest moment, Bridgerton could turn the entire story upside down. The person we thought would stand beside them may not be the person they choose. The future that looked certain could suddenly disappear. And the match that seemed impossible could become the one relationship nobody can ignore. This is where Season 5 could deliver its biggest emotional surprise. After all the secret meetings, quiet looks, family pressure, and growing rumors, the two characters may finally have to say what they truly feel. But instead of giving them an easy, happy ending, the story could force them to make one final choice. Do they follow the rules, or do they follow their hearts? That decision could happen at a major social event where everyone is watching. Imagine a room going silent as one character steps forward and refuses to continue with a planned marriage. Nobody understands what is happening until the real reason becomes clear. They are not choosing another powerful family. They are choosing the person they were never supposed to love. The reaction from the ton could be explosive. Some people would call it foolish. Others would call it scandalous. Friends could be shocked. Family members could be furious. And old enemies could see the perfect chance to take advantage of the chaos. But for the couple, this could be the first time they are finally honest about what they want. Yet there may be one final secret. What if one of them knew from the beginning that this relationship could never be simple? What if a hidden promise, an old family connection, or a secret from the past has been keeping them apart? That reveal could completely change the meaning of every earlier scene. Suddenly, those quiet conversations would feel different. Those stolen looks would have a deeper meaning. Even the moments when they tried to stay away from each other could become clues that they were fighting feelings they could not control. And that is what could make this match so powerful. Dotted would not be about two people suddenly falling in love. It would be about two people slowly realizing that the life they were expected to live is not the life they truly want. If Bridgerton Season 5 takes this direction, the unexpected couple could become the heart of the season. Their story could bring romance, jealousy, family conflict, and one huge question that keeps fans guessing until the very end. Was this match really unexpected? Or were the clues there all along? Because sometimes the biggest Bridgerton twist is not the person who arrives at the ball. It is the person standing beside you when the music stops, the room goes silent, and you finally realize they were the one all along. Asterisk, what if the biggest romance of Bridgerton Season 5 is not about choosing between two obvious lovers, but about discovering that the real match was hiding in front of everyone all along? That possibility could give the next chapter a completely different feeling. Instead of another predictable love story, fans could be watching two people slowly move toward each other while the rest of the ton remains completely unaware. The most exciting part is how much this kind of story could change the characters involved. An unexpected romance would not only give us romantic moments, it could force both characters to question everything they believed about love, family, and their future. One decision could affect an entire family, create new rivalries, and even change relationships that fans have followed for years. And if the relationship finally becomes public, the reaction could be unforgettable. Some characters may celebrate it, while others could see it as a terrible mistake. Old secrets could return. A former connection could suddenly become important. Someone who believed they had control over the future could realize that their plans are falling apart. But there is one detail that could make the twist even more powerful. The couple may not even realize how important their relationship is until they are forced to lose it. Sometimes people understand their feelings only when the person they care about starts walking away. That could create the emotional turning point of Season 5. One character could prepare to leave, believing there is no future for them together. The other could finally realize that staying silent is no longer an option. And then comes the moment fans would remember a confession. Not a perfect confession. Not one made without fear, but an honest admission that says everything they tried to hide. After all the rumors, pressure, and misunderstandings, the truth would finally be impossible to ignore. Of course, Bridgerton would probably not make the road easy. Even after the confession, there could still be one final obstacle standing between them and happiness. A family decision, a hidden secret, or a choice that could change their future forever. That is why the phrase "the match no one expected" could mean more than simply an unusual couple. It could represent a relationship that challenges everything the characters thought they wanted. And if Season 5 really goes in this direction, fans may look back at the earliest clues and realize the story was never as random as it seemed. So now the biggest question remains, who do you think is the unexpected match? Could Bridgerton Season 5 give us a romance nobody predicted? Or are fans looking in completely the wrong direction? Whatever happens, one thing is certain. If the 10 has taught us anything, it is that love never follows the rules for long.